Welcome to RetroQuest, my retro video gaming podcast where I force my son to play old video games about obscure comic book characters. I'm your host, Joystick Cowboy, and with me as always is the ubiquitous Sako, Teenage Prodigy.
Oh yeah, as always, the best co-host.
The best I have available.
That's crazy.
Anyway.
You know, that really hurts my feelings.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, let's move on. How are you doing, Sako?
Oh, I'm doing just dandy. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing fucking fabulous. Long time no see. I mean, since 10 minutes ago at dinner, but long time no record.
Yeah, I was about to say, but more like long time no record. It's been at least a few days, you know? I'd say it's been a few days-ish.
Been probably a solid month, and I do apologize to anybody who actually likes to listen to our podcast and finds it entertaining who may have cared. Shit happens. I have a very high pressure job, and sometimes it takes over my life for chunks of time. As well as Santiago's engagements with school starting and his life getting together, you know, for we had birthdays, and August was crazy, and hopefully we can get back on a decent schedule if anybody, you know, cares or is wondering. Just wanted to kind of say that, you know, get that elephant out of the room that yes, anybody who has been paying attention knows it's been a minute.
I was wondering if we were going to say anything or just kind of pretend that we weren't gone.
No, I was thinking about making it like a weird, awkward thing we don't talk about, but I don't think that would come across good in an audio format as much as maybe if I could do some like faces like Jim from The Office to make it obvious that we're not saying what we mean.
Yeah. Just kind of sounds like we're snarky.
Yeah. Anyhow, so anything you've been doing lately, video wise, game wise? That sounded weird. I haven't done this for a month, guys. I apologize.
Give us some slack.
It's not like I don't talk to people from around the country every day in my job, but anyhow, so what have you been up to lately? What is, you should have some stuff to talk to us about what you've been doing.
So it's been a while. I was on a good streaming schedule for a while. Then school came up, and I decided I'm going to take a break from streaming, so I haven't been streaming, so that's why I've been basically silent for like the past week and a half. But I've been, you know, going to school. I was going to say going to work, but honestly, not that much recently. So school's been crazy, right? We just got started up with school. I'm going to in-person school, which if you remember a few episodes ago, that wasn't a thing.
Yes, it was going to be homeschooling, but we decided otherwise.
So that's cool. You know, got to do some fun classes. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've been working on some things that I want to get started up, maybe as YouTube exclusive content. That would be a lot of fun to, you know, get up and running some series and stuff. You know, I'm trying to think. I turned 16, which I think we might have mentioned already, but I do want to. Well, I do want to say it myself.
We did. We mentioned birthdays, but we didn't be specific.
Yeah, I guess we didn't specify. I turned 16, guys. I am now legally of the age of consent, which means I can sign contracts.
No, that's not what that means. I don't think you know what consent. I don't think you know what that phrase means. Yes, and I am also a year older than I was last year.
Your birthday was at the beginning of the.
I say we've gone through.
We haven't recorded
birthday,
since either of us.
Your uncle's birthday, your birthday, fucking. There was some other stuff that happened in there. It seemed like I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Yeah. So what else have you been up to? Been playing any good video games lately?
Oh, you know, just Silver Surfer. I'm kidding. I haven't played Silver Surfer. I beat it like the day after you gave me the game. I've touched it like once since. So this is going to be an interesting episode.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I thought you were gonna play it last night again.
I was going to, but by the time that you told me that I should play, that we were going to be recording today, my friend had just got online, and I haven't played with him in like a month. It was my friend Alex. Yeah, it was my friend Alex. I haven't played with him in like a few months, so I was like, and this is the first time he's going to be, like, last time he's on for a while because school just started. So he was like, "Yo, you want to play?" I was like, "Sure." So I didn't really have time to play it recently at all. Well, I guess I've had the time, but it didn't come up until late, you know?
Yeah.
I've been playing Fortnite a lot. I'm a big fan of the Captain America shield because it is broken.
Oh yeah, I haven't played Fortnite in like it's been like at least a couple months since I played Fortnite.
Yeah, the new season, I'm not a super big fan. I mostly play Fortnite for like creative map building and stuff. But me and Ivan have played some of the new season. The Captain America shield, 100% broken. It like locks onto enemies, does like 60
season?
damage.
Do they got? What are they? Is
it's
it like
another Marvel season? It's another Marvel season,
shit.
yeah.
Is there a bunch? There must be some Marvel shit coming out, huh?
But all of the skins are just remakes of old skins.
What's the battle pass like main like skin that you get?
It's Doom again, Doctor Doom again, like it was the first time they had the Marvel season. Yeah, it's literally the same skin too. I think there's a slight color palette swatch.
When they had the Marvel season, it was Doctor Strange. Or was that just a Doctor Strange season?
That was I think that was just like its own season, that Doctor Strange.
No, because that was I swear that was when I got my Doctor Strange skin and I got my Scarlet Witch skin. The old
it must
have, yeah. Okay, it must have been like
they've had 3 Marvel seasons. I'm thinking of the OG Marvel season, which
I'm sure the one I'm sure the one I'm thinking of was when they had the Doctor Doom where the
You're
one movie where him and Scarlet Witch were in that movie, so that's why him and Scarlet Witch were in that season of Fortnite. That was near the end of that Star Wars season when they still had like fucking stormtroopers running around and shit with fucking Marvel characters. That was like, yeah, okay. What was the third one then? The one right now?
Yeah, this is the third one. Because the first one was all the way back, even before COVID. It was, I'm pretty sure, chapter 1 still.
What other skins are in there?
So I know there's Doctor Doom. There's like this Gwenpool, which is like kind of it's
like
really
Spider-Gwen.
weird.
It's like Spider-Gwen, but it's like Gwen Deadpool.
No, not at all. And that's I know, right? So
what?
it's stupid is what it is. I don't like the new battle pass at all. But she's like the base. So you know how whenever you get the battle pass, there's one skin you unlock instantly. I guess I don't know if you know that, but when you get she's the base one.
Nope, never played Fortnite before.
Well, I don't know if you've ever got a battle pass before or not.
I feel like just like a few minutes ago, I was telling you how I got Scarlet Witch, and that's where I got my Scarlet Witch, and my Doctor Strange was from completing the battle pass that season.
I didn't put.
Not only did
together.
I complete that season, I completed the battle pass, and I completed like the extra fucking tier battle passes that year or that season.
Yeah,
that was like one of the seasons where I went like really hard in that season. Actually,
that's funny. Yeah. So yeah, you do know that then. She's like the starter skin. She's just like a white. She's just a like white costume. She kind of looks like a member.
Like I feel like how Spider-Gwen was like white and pink fucking Spider-Man.
But not like that at all, though. Like, I know what you're thinking, and I wish I could say, because that would be so much better than what we got. But it's just like, I don't know if you've ever seen the Fortnite superhero skins, but it's literally just.
I'm sure we just didn't talk about how like I've played.
No, not
like
not the Marvel hero. Like, I mean, like there's like Fortnite released their own line of hero skins, and it's just literally. I just don't know if you've ever seen those because people don't use them much anymore. Like because they're kind of.
I think I have like one of them. It's like the black dude, but he's like dressed up almost like the guy from The Incredibles. Like he almost looks like that guy.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. It kind of looks like those skins, except for there's no cape, and it's a complete and she wears a full like face mask, and it's all white, and it doesn't look good at all. And it's also cell shaded, which makes it a disadvantage skin because cell shaded skins are.
Are there any fucking cool skins on the battle pass?
I don't think so. There were on the last battle pass. They had a Fallout power armor as one of the skins. I caught that.
Listen, this is enough Fallout talk on our retro video gaming podcast. We'll talk about that later after the show. Anyhow, so that's about it for video games as far as you are concerned this last month.
I've also been back into Call of Duty.
When were you not in Call of Duty?
Last time we recorded an episode. Our last episode, I said that I'd quit playing it.
I'm talking about every time I walk by your room and see you playing fucking Call of Duty.
I don't play Call of Duty all.
I guess I've been seeing you play Fortnite more. I guess I that's true. Yeah, you got back into Call of Duty, huh? How you loving that?
I'm liking it. I'm a goat at snipers only, which is crazy because I play like how you would imagine a real life military sniper would, in the distance, like taking people out, and everybody else plays like with snipers that are just shotguns, like, and absolutely broken. And I can still manage to pull my own against like these people with these broken snipers, and I'm using like a base sniper. So that's cool. I'm just skilled.
They dropped the new, Black Ops 6 on Game Pass, and I was gonna fucking try that out.
Yeah, that's they just opened the Black Ops 6 beta. I don't know if I'm gonna end up buying Black Ops 6 or not though, because the only thing that it offers outside, like that Modern Warfare 3 doesn't, is obviously like maps, but it's
the campaign,
same movement. The campaign is different and the zombies are different, which I don't play either of. So
I only play zombies.
If I was going to get Black Ops 6, I would at least want to replay Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, and Black Ops Cold War. I'd want to play those campaigns because I know those ones are very closely together. The original Black Ops and Black Ops 2 campaigns are related to each other, but they're not as strongly tied to the ones from 3 and on.
I don't know. I just know that when I do play a shooty gun game like that, I don't play it online unless it's like Fortnite. I usually just play the zombie mode or campaign. I don't have the reflexes to play that shit online.
But I spent money on Call of Duty to get the Rhea Ripley skin, which you watch WWE, so you should know who that is.
Yes.
But she has her own takedown, which is her like signature move. In I don't know if you've ever seen it. I've never seen her on WWE because I don't watch WWE, but it's a pretty cool takedown. So it was worth the. I think it was $5.
Well, that's cool. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I have not played a whole lot of video games in the past month. I played Silver Surfer. Me and my wife, we beat Super Mario World, which we should probably do an episode on that soon. Yeah, you saw us when we were fucking smashing that dude. You were like playing with us when we were doing that.
Yeah, me and you were playing on our own separate save though.
No, but I mean when me and June were playing, and then she got up and like you started playing with her, and then I beat it.
Oh yeah. That did happen. That indeed did happen.
And then so I did that. What else have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Darkest Dungeon lately. I fired up Trails in the Sky. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I'm playing Trails in the Sky again. Because I want to play through the whole Trails in the Sky series, because as I mentioned, I don't have a whole lot of time on my hands, and I like to play 100-hour RPGs in my spare time. Yeah, I stopped playing Final Fantasy 15 because God damn it, that game is just boring. I really kept trying to fucking make myself like that game. Like, I kept pushing myself to be like, come on, it's gonna get better. They're just dudes cruising around. This isn't that bad. I don't like that game. I really want to like that game. Like, when I look at the game, and even, like, I don't know, like, I love the way it looks. I love the style. And I kind of just, I even like the gameplay. Like, I just get fucking bored playing that game. Like, it's not like I'm not doing shit. It's just like this, the story doesn't
slow moving.
No, it's actually a fast paced fucking Final Fantasy game. Like, it's more action oriented. Like, it's not turn based or nothing like that. I don't know what it is. I just kept like pushing myself, and finally I'm like, you are not enjoying yourself, sir. You need to play something else. So I started playing something else. And that's when I decided I was gonna fire up Trails in the Sky. I got Final Fantasy 16 downloaded on my PS5, but I'm not ready to crack that open yet. So I decided to.
Isn't that like the
that doesn't make no
MMORPG
sense
one
whatsoever.
too?
No, that's 14. 16 is the one that came out not too long ago. That was made by the same guy who made the Devil May Cry games, I think. So it's like way more action oriented, and it's more like an action RPG from what I hear. But I don't know. It seems like, even though I know that's a huge time sink, and so is Trails in the Sky, I know Trails in the Sky, so it's comfortable to me. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go play some Trails in the Sky for a while.
That's fair.
And what else have I been playing? I've been playing something else. I just can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
No Zombie Hunters or whatever it's called.
Zombie Hunters?
That game that you were always talking about playing for like the last 8 episodes. You wouldn't stop talking about.
Vampire Survivors?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I play on my phone from time to time, but I basically have like done all the things there is to do on my PC version and on my phone version. So like, when I am doing it, it's like I'm not really moving towards a goal. So it's less it doesn't catch my attention as much as when I had all these things to unlock, and I was, every run I was unlocking something. It was like doing stuff and working towards something. Now it's just like, okay, I don't really have much else to do, so I'm not going to fire this up so much. So I haven't really been playing Vampire Survivors. I play a little bit of Persona 3, but not a whole lot.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about it the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't really been playing a lot lately. It's been work.
You've been very hectic, though.
Yeah, it's not like I've had a lot of time. So that's what that is. And then Silver Surfer, I played that again last night. Didn't beat it again last night. Just wanted to play it since it was a minute since we did play it. So anyways, let's get into the game. Talk.
It's been a minute.
First, let's do it like backwards. Like, we're doing like your first impressions and my thing. I feel like it's a better flow if I just go with my my history with the game, and then your first impressions straight into talking about the game. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about my history with the game, and whatnot. And we're going to call this segment Nostalgia. Nostalgia.
Okay. Nostalgia.
I want to get like a voice clip. So it's like, every time I'm like, all right. And it's like, nostalgia. But a lot better than that than I can do.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Or like, see if I can get a hold of, like, someone who could do a good Mario. Like, nostalgia.
That'd be great.
That would be fucking awesome, actually. I just had a good idea on air. Crazy. So this game, I got presented with this game randomly by my aunt. I remember it vividly. It wasn't my birthday. It wasn't a fucking like a day where I would normally get a gift. I remember I was at my grandma's house and my aunt just showed up and she was like, I got you a game. And she was like, it's Silver Surfer. And you got to know that my aunt is kind of a nerd. Like, she's smarter, like on the smarter side of people. She played video games at this time still too. Like, she was the person who like showed me Metroid for the first time and like explained to me like how Metroid worked, so I could understand what Metroid was when I first played it. She was the one that it first showed me Tetris and explained to me how to be a good Tetris player. You know, she read comic books at that time and she watched movies and stuff, so she knew who the Silver Surfer was. And she got me this game and presented it to me. He's like, oh, look, check it out. It's a game. It's the Silver Surfer. And I was like, oh, I was probably like 9 or 10, never heard of the Silver Surfer in my life. And was just like, that's cool. Okay. and she seemed kind of disappointed that I didn't know what the Silver Surfer was. And I am still not 100% sure who the Silver Surfer is now, but I got the game and I fired it up, and it is a fucking hard game. For a 9-10-year-old playing this on original hardware with no kind of save stating, no rewinds, nothing of the sort, no rapid fire, fucking nothing. This was a fucking hard game. But you know what? I played the shit out of it, and I ended up getting really good at this game. I didn't even realize, like, at the time it was a hard game as far as harder than other games of this type. I was just like, oh, this is a game and this is just how this game is. I just have to get good at this game. It honestly never registered in my head that this was much harder than other games of this type. At the time, it was just like, oh, this is just how this game works. Ended up getting really good at it. And I just kept it for a long time and just played it from time to time because I actually just enjoyed the game, the aesthetic and everything. It wasn't until later on down the line when I had, met other people in my life and we were talking about, old school video game nostalgia and stuff. And Silver Surfer got brought up, and I started talking about how I got it, how I was super good at it, and I beat it, and I could, almost speed run it. I got so good at it. And the other people around me were kind of just like, you fucking beat that game? Like you can beat it on a regular basis. Like that's something that you just do. And this is before the time of YouTube when you could just watch speed runs and long plays and shit. So this was like a word of mouth type, situation where like, it's like, hey, I actually met a guy who beat Silver Surfer, like I know a guy who got to the fucking last boss, it's that kind of stuff. So it was finding out that I'd actually gotten good at a hard game was kind of cool. And it was actually one of my NES games I actually kept longer than others. I remember still having this game late into having my Super Nintendo when I had gotten rid of most of my other Nintendo stuff. So that kind of it shows how much I like this game. Anyway, what are your first impressions of this game when I told you about it and you fired it up?
So I wish I could say I have as clear of a recollection of it as I have for every other episode, but it has been so long. I do remember loading it up. I do remember checking the box art too. I don't remember my first impressions on the box art, but I do even now like looking at it. It's pretty dope. I think that my first idea when looking at it too was that it was pretty dope. It's not like anything super special.
Yeah, that's what I thought too when I first looked at it. I was like, it's kind of cool looking. Like, that's cool.
Like, it's not necessarily something super crazy special. It just looks kind of dope. And so I fired it up. Obviously, I don't remember exactly what I was feeling, but I mean, I got into it. And I'm glad you brought up the turbo button because I very quickly learned that was my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, I even went so far as to go into my settings and make it so my rapid fire button went faster. Because this is the only game that actually helped with, surprisingly.
This is a hard game.
This is the
I remember as a kid, like, that's how I got, this game is why I got so good at hitting that button so fast.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to do that. Because this game responds to so many, like, this game, I don't think it has any, like, actual input, what's it called?
Lag?
Not lag, because that's very, like, depending if my, I could say it doesn't, but then it doesn't just because it's...
Like the millisecond, like, between when game, yeah.
I forget what that's called, but...
Like the responsiveness.
Yeah, it's basically zero. It's like you can just hit that button as fast as possible and it'll just match that speed. which is
Well, even the movement is incredibly responsive.
Oh yeah, like it's a very smooth. I didn't know what I was doing though. I do remember this. I remember sitting on that so you will start the game and then you're sitting at this like selection screen after you watch the like opening cutscene.
Yeah. And
I was just kind of sitting there for like 5 minutes trying to figure out how to make it go. I felt like there's this. So in Uncharted 4, there's Nathan Drake. He's sitting there. He's trying to play Crash Bandicoot. And he's like, how do I make it go? And then Elena's like, oh, you hit the start button. And I felt like that stupid right there because I couldn't figure out how to get it to just play.
Oh man,
like, this is not looking like it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And
what'd you think about that? About that intro music or that title screen music?
Solid.
Dude,
solid. I like it.
Yeah. It kind of gave you that feeling, oh, that's the kind of game this is going to be.
Kind of gets you pumped up.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that's we can just get more impressions to talk about.
No. Just trying to figure out the controls.
Let's just get into the game talk then. I want to bring up that cover that you talked about. I really did dig that cover too as a kid. And if you look at the pictures of the box art, it looks really cool. But actually in person, the way that picture wrapped around the sides of the box looked really fucking cool too. I found out later that's actually that's a comic book cover that they just made the cover of the game, I believe. And that's why it looks like really good. Cool. Because it's an actual cover of a comic book. You know, like the Silver Surfer #1, probably. You know what I mean? Because Silver Surfer, I guess, at one point may have been a big deal because
just before either of our time,
my aunt seemed to think he was a big deal, and from what I've gathered, he is kind of like almost like omnipotent, but his stories were more like, oh, I have this power, should I use it, kind of thing, instead of like fighting a villain. Because from what I understand, he works for Galactus, who is like the world eater.
Yeah, Galactus, the guy, the eater of worlds.
He eats worlds, but in it, that's where I learned it too. I'm not gonna lie, but that and that shitty fucking Jessica Alba Fantastic Four movie with the Silver Surfer. He like scouts out planets for like Galactus to fucking eat. But he's also somehow a hero who's saving the fucking universe. I don't know. It's weird. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Didn't make a lot of sense when I was a kid. Makes less sense now that I have more information. But
fun fact though, this wasn't actually the first time I'd ever heard of Silver Surfer. So, guess who also is in Fortnite?
Silver Surfer?
Yeah.
Oh, that checks out. I think I remember seeing a Silver Surfer skin. As a matter of fact,
I didn't buy it, but I do remember seeing it.
I think I was like 2 seconds away from buying it that time I saw it. Because his thing is like his obviously it's his surfboard instead of like his hang glider.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked really cool. It was really cool. Shiny. It looked really cool, yeah. But I still am not 100% clear. I've never read a Silver Surfer comic book. I've never attempted to. I like the game and I like what the character is in the game, but I really don't give two fucks about the comic book, honestly. No interest in philosophical fucking Marvel comic books. If I want introspective philosophy, I'll go to like some indie comics or even DC before I go to Marvel.
That's fair. I guess I was going to say I can't argue with that, but I really don't read either DC or Marvel, so I have no clue.
I read DC I read Marvel as a kid and not so much DC, but nowadays I would lean more towards DC because it's more gritty and dark and fucking, I don't know, just gritty and dark and gothic, whereas Marvel is more flashy and superheroes and outer space and fucking just fantastic. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like it. I like Marvel shit too. I just would lean more towards I hate Fantastic Four.
The like you hate the entirety of Fantastic Four, or you hate the live action movie? I hate
the movie. I've never liked the Fantastic Four. Not as a superhero group. I think it was like the first superheroes, so I can give it credit for that. So I can forgive it for being like very bland and generic in my head, but it's just, I don't know. It's the guy who's like made out of rocks, an invisible girl, the guy who stretches, and a guy who's on fire. I like the take on the Fantastic Four in Venture Brothers way more than I like the actual Fantastic Four.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm the only person on the planet who likes the live action Fantastic Four, because I've heard nothing but bad about it. But
you actually like that movie?
Maybe it's just because I watched it when I was so young. So it's one of those things where it's like I just like it because I saw it when I was that young. Well, not nostalgia though, because I watch it often enough for it not to be nostalgia. Like I watch it every few years, so I can't really call it nostalgia. But I think it's because I watched it at such a young age, and it was like the first and one of the few superhero movies I've ever watched in general. Anyways, it's just like, oh, that's cool, you know.
Did you watch the Fantastic Four movie that has the Silver Surfer?
I have not, and I'm pretty sure that's the second one. I haven't seen that.
I don't know. I think it's like the third one actually, but I don't really care because I never sat through like all of those movies. I watched the first one simply because Jessica Alba.
That's
Other
fair.
than that, I didn't care at the time. Did not care.
It's kind of stupid, but I liked it. It's kind of silly. It's not like super serious, and that's why I like it. Because you have like these superheroes that are like super serious, and they go through these crazy things, right? Like Batman's parents died, and Tony Stark like has to realize that he is like borderline war criminal, and then the Fantastic Four just, you know, people turn to superheroes and escape this facility, and then that's kind of the first movie ends.
Have you watched X-Men?
I've watched part of one X-Men movie, and that was the one
when I was
with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, but he didn't have a mouth.
Oh, that's like a Wolverine movie. That's I was way into the X-Men when I was younger. Like that's what I liked. I liked X-Men. Because I liked Wolverine. I liked the Avengers, kind of. Like I was like more X-Men oriented, but I liked the Avengers simply because I liked Iron Man. I thought Iron Man was a fucking badass. But yeah, never really was huge on the superheroes for the most part. Anyway, I liked more of the dark, gritty comics that were not colorful. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But anyhow, this game is fucking cool. Let's talk about this video game that we're fucking talking about. So the game is a shoot 'em up. Obviously, it's well, I guess that's not obvious to anybody, but it's a shoot 'em up. It's a shmup, and it's a side-scrolling shmup, and it's also a top-down.
It's also an auto scroller.
Well, most shmups are auto scrollers.
Not Streets of Rage. I was about to call Streets of Rage a shoot 'em up. I'm gonna quit gaming after that one.
So, and I like the variety of that. I like how you go through the level side scrolling, and then you have like top down, and then you have like another side scrolling with a boss battle. The boss battles are kind of cool. I kind of like they're pretty dope. The levels are harder than fucking shit, dude. Like the mazes that you have, like have you ever watched the Angry Video Game review of this game where he's like, you got to go through a maze but you don't know where the maze go? I don't know, he goes and does his
I never actually went the wrong way in any of the mazes. By sheer luck, the mazes never bother me because I went through them just fine each time. I went along the wrong way, and that seems to be, because like I said, that seems to be a very common thing in our podcast. Is I just like get really lucky playing through a game, think it's super easy, and you're like, dude, this is a really hard game. What are you talking about? It was easy. Yeah, I totally believe you didn't use rewind or slow motion or save states. I believe that. I mean, in this game, not really, because I can hold down the turbo button, and that takes care of basically all the enemies. Like there's like with the turbo button on like the max speed it can go, I'm not worried about enemies, and I made my way through each like maze by luck. So at that point, there's no reason to use the rewind. I guess that makes sense. I guess.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I still found this game fucking difficult. I actually didn't find it as difficult, and I don't know if that's just because I did get so good at it as a kid,
Youngster.
or if I am just better because I'm older. But I also could be worse because I'm older, so I don't know if that means anything. Yeah, I like the aesthetic of this game too. I like the way it looks. Each level has its own style that is very fucking unique. Like the library level, and there's books and shit. I really like reptiles level, where you're going and you go above ground or you can go below ground on the side scrolling levels. Yeah. And I think that's cool because it's like all really defined alternate routes. Most of the levels have alternate routes at points, but it's like those reptile levels. Like it was the entirety of the side scrolling level was you could be above ground or in the alternate route below ground, and you could avoid half the enemies doing that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
I haven't played through it multiple times, so I didn't know the differences between the routes, but I did know that there were separate routes.
Yeah, well, I mean, half the enemies are on the top route, half the enemies are on the bottom route, so you're only going to face half the enemies because you're not going to go both routes.
That's fair. I thought when you were saying it, I thought you meant it as though there were less enemies on one way, and I was like...
I just meant, the game only has, is going to have the same amount of enemies, but it splits it on those levels between the top and the bottom. So you only end up fighting half as many as, you normally would in other levels.
Yeah. Now I understand better since you kind of explained it.
And the boss battles were pretty cool. What did you think about the boss battles?
Well, okay, so I want to go back to the levels though real quick first. Okay. I don't remember the one level. I don't remember who it was, but I remember that being inside of it kind of reminded me of what was it called? Nightmare on Elm Street game when you're inside the houses. The look kind of reminded me of that. Oh, that was I think the library level, right? Or yeah.
It's like
okay, yeah.
Mephisto's level. Yeah, see, I don't know if I'm gonna assume that most of these guys bosses on this game are from the comic books, but I don't know if they all are because Reptile, that seems like that was one. Mephisto and Possessor, but Firelord,
Reptile's from the comics.
I
do know that. At least I think I know that.
The only one is like Firelord. That seems super generic, and I was not sure if that was from the comics. I think I remember reading somewhere that the end boss for the game actually isn't from the comics. Like he was created for this game.
That makes sense, though. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if I know they aren't, but I wouldn't be surprised if all of them were made for this game specifically.
Well, I know Mephisto's not,
and I know Reptile isn't.
Okay, like I know of Mephisto in other properties, so like I know Mephisto is actual. All the other ones, I'm kind of assuming. Kylar, the Emperor of the Scroll. I know the Scroll are a real thing, but I don't know what Kylar is. Yeah. So I don't know. This game is very creative, though. I think it uses the license, even though I'm not familiar with it. From what I've known, it uses the license really good in a very good game. I like the little thing when you're flying and you get that little circle that flies below you you get that extra shot. I really like that. Yeah. That reminded me of one of the options in Gradius. If you've ever played Gradius, where you get the little extra ship that shoots with you. I'm thinking of another game I played recently like that too. Did a game we play? You get one. Oh yeah, it's Street Fighter. Yep. You get that little ball. I think that's maybe a theme in games I like, where you get a ball that shoots things. It's like a sidekick ball.
You sure like balls that shoot things.
I do. That's why you're alive.
I'm glad that you quickly made it not a gay joke, because it could have very easily just been a gay joke if you didn't say something.
I'm progressive. Anyhow,
moving on.
Silver Surfer. That dude looks like a fucking badass. Silver Surfer just kind of looks like a badass. I'm not sure how much of a badass he is, but seeing as how he's like an omnipotent celestial being,
made of like silver looking material.
Yeah, like
I don't think he's made of like genuine silver. Like I don't think he's made of the like pure particle silver. But he looks.
I really wish this was a game that they would have actually took and made like a sequel. I would have liked to see what more they could have done with this, or possibly if this would have been a successful series and taken this game with these mechanics, and added to them, making them better and graphics a little bit better on the Super Nintendo. Like, I really wish, like, I like this game. I wish it would have been a series.
But see, think about it like this, though. There's a lot of games where it's like, this would be a great series, but they mess it up if they make it a series.
That's fair. And I don't think the developer was like that big of a developer. It was what Software Creations. Well, I actually think that's a pretty decent.
Well, they're bigger now than they were back then, though, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this game is fucking deserving of a sequel.
I can't say I disagree, but I'm worried that if we go back in time and they decide to give this game a sequel, it could just be like, I'm trying to think of it could be like, I was gonna say Bomberman, but actually the Bomberman sequels are bombs.
Yeah. You think you're worried about us going back in time and making this a sequel to this game, and you're first of all, that's what you're worried about, us going back in time and not all the shenanigans.
What if it's bad?
But what about all the other shenanigans I'm going to do when I go back in time that are going to ruin the timeline? The Silver Surfer game's the least of our issues.
But they won't mess with our timeline.
Oh, okay.
Don't you know that theory? If you mess with something in the past, you can't change who you are in the past, so you will mess up a different timeline, like a different timeline of a different reality, not your own. You've never heard that before?
I'm not apt on temporal science.
Yeah, but like it's a very, very like well accepted idea of time travel.
It's not my idea. My time travel doesn't work that way.
That would be because that's enough proof to say that even if we could invent time travel,
there's no proof. First of all, we're talking about time travel. There's no proof. There's no proof.
But that's like to say if we could create time travel, why haven't we seen any time travelers? That's a great, like, that covers just so many grounds. And it's very well accepted.
Time travel doesn't happen, so there's no reason to make theories about it happening because maybe it just never happens.
Time travel forward happens at least, which is provable.
That's provable by the fact that, hey, I just went forward in time by 1 second.
Well, that's different though. I mean, like,
no, how's that different? I went forward in time.
Because if you go fast enough, you experience time slower than everyone else. No, you experience time faster. To them, it's slower, but to you, it's faster. So you can go 10 minutes in the future, experiencing 2 minutes. That's time travel.
That sounds like marijuana to me.
No, it's like it's speed. If you go fast, it's not if you're falling super fast. Have you ever like fell really from a really high distance really fast, like, and like things just seemed like they were like slower for some reason? That's not adrenaline.
Sure.
That's science, which I guess adrenaline is science.
Is the Silver Surfer science?
Yes, because silver. I don't know. I was about to go on and say I don't know what the atomic thing is for silver though, so I can't make that joke.
I'm gonna be quite frank with you.
No, AU is gold. No, AU is Australia. What am I on right now?
Huh.
Is gold AU on the periodic table?
So the Silver Surfer fights Reptile, Mephisto, Possessor, Fire Lord, and Kylar, the self-proclaimed Emperor of the Scroll.
AU is silver. Cool. I was right.
We don't care. We're talking about Silver Surfer. I guess we do kind of care.
Because that's silver.
But it doesn't surf.
But that's what Silver Surfer is made out of, isn't it?
I don't know if it's like just the color silver or like the metal silver. He's a person. He probably just or just like the color.
I don't know. I think he might be made of silver.
Oh, so yeah, on the last level, when you go to the magic domain to get the cosmic device, you fight a guy who's actually created just for the game. I guess every other boss is from the game except for the final boss, who, or I mean, they're all from the game, but I mean from the comic books. All the different bosses are from the comics except for the final boss, who is just like that guy with a gun.
Yeah,
and he's just like there to fucking destroy the world, I guess.
'Cause evil plan.
Yeah, you know. So the gameplay in this game is awesome. I like the fact that you can kind of choose your own level, like Mega Man. Like there's no advantage to the order you go in, like Mega Man. Like in Mega Man, when you beat a robot boss, you get a weapon from them. And there's a certain order where if you beat this boss, there's a boss that'll be weak against his weapon, and then you beat that boss, and there'll be a boss that'll be weak against that weapon, and so on and so forth. So that each boss battle is decently easy if you have the gun from, if you go in the order you should go. Whereas this game it doesn't really matter what order you go in; it's not going to affect you in any way whatsoever. It's just the order in which you want to play, which I don't know. I liked Mega Man's kind of upgrade system to where there was an advantage for going to different bosses. You know, you didn't. I wish there was maybe some kind of power up you could get at the end of each level here, so that you know it would make a difference as to which level you went to in which order.
I definitely think that would be cool, but I've never played Mega Man, so I can't comment. But
that would also lead to like when I play Mega Man, I go in the same order every time simply because that's what you do. Whereas if like this game, anytime I play this game, I go in different order because it doesn't really matter, you know, what order you go in. So I guess it's cool either way. I would just prefer the upgrade system, some kind of persistent weapon upgrade or ability upgrade. Yeah, I'm asking a whole lot out of this game, and this game's already a good game. But
yeah, so this game is also really old to be asking this much from.
Well, this game came out in let's see, what year did this game come out in? This came out in 1990, so this isn't that early into the fucking Super Nintendo's lifespan. You know, this is a couple years before the Super NES. You know, other games
that doesn't
have
make
come
this
and
game
gone.
not old.
But I mean, comparatively, you know, to the other games at the time who did do things, you know, more. I mean, this game, you know, I can't fault it though, because it is super responsive. It is snappy. You can actually get skill at this game, and it's not just about learning the way the game is programmed. It's about actually getting skill at the game.
That's fair. You
know, so I don't have a whole lot more to say about it because
it's very simple.
You know, it's very simple
good,
and awesome.
And it's very like well made, but it's very simple. Which, you know, it's almost like that's a very common thing with older games. The simpler it is, the easier it is to like not break.
And it's a cool game that you can just pick up and you can just play through and beat it. Like I forgot how much fun it was.
According to all your friends, you can't just pick it up and beat it.
Yeah, well, they suck, I guess, because I beat it. You beat it.
It's not that hard.
With turbo button and a you know a controller that fits your hand nicely. That's not an NES controller, you know, that just kind of fit my hand weird when I was a kid. It makes a difference. So yeah, you got anything else to say about this game? Maybe about the awesome music. Have we talked about that? How awesome the music was.
I liked the music.
I love the music.
It was very solid music.
I might even make the Silver Surfer intro our like intro to every episode.
Well, you already got rid of my Echo the Dolphin, so
I'm thinking about making get one of them Silver Surfer songs for the outro instead of that Mega Man song. But I don't know. I like that.
You use a song from a game we haven't even played yet.
That makes it mysterious.
But everybody in the audience, I'm the only person who doesn't know it. I'm the only person.
Why we're all in on the joke. You're not.
Except I am, because you've also said what game it is. So like,
okay, but you still never even took the time to listen to it. So it's a bonding moment between me and my audience about how
I like the Echo the Dolphin music better.
Still, just does not listen to that.
Echo the Dolphin was where it's at. Echo the Dolphin shaped this podcast.
Yep. Okay. Anyhow, so let's wrap this fucker up, put a bow on it, and call it the Silver Surfer review. Review time.
It's 8-bit in it.
It's 8-bit.
Okay.
8-bit odd in it.
Are you ready for my answer?
Yes, it is an 8-bit game. So out of a scale of 1 to 8 on the RetroQuest NES scale of approval, what do you give it?
6.
6, huh? A respectable 6. Let's see.
A very respectable high 6.
On the official RetroQuest scale of NES approval at the time of this rating, I give it a 7. Give it a 7.
I saw that coming.
It's not perfect. There are faults. We didn't talk about a whole lot of the faults because it's just many. Hard. Like the faults are really just that it's hard.
Which wasn't a big issue for either of us, I guess.
But I mean, it's hard. I mean, at the end of the day,
like,
we play video games.
At the end of the day, it is yeah.
We're video gamers. Like, we gotta also think that the fact that we play a lot of fucking video games. We
both generally more than the average. Daily.
Like, honestly, on even comparatively to other video game people, I don't like the word gamers, but video game enthusiasts.
I feel like that's so much cringier.
I want it to be cringy. I am an old man, and I like cringe. Anyhow,
so you're very skibbity.
Oh fuck! Why would you're very skibbity? I still don't know what that means.
No, I'm not. I don't know what that means either.
Skibbity. I like the way it sounds. I just don't know what the fuck it means.
I wish I knew.
What I was going to say is, I rated it a 7.
Oh yeah, you said 7. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I rated it a 7 because it has the flaws, but most of the flaws are, I wouldn't say flaws of programming. It's not like bad programming. It's not like bad graphics or bad sound. It's just like the flaws were more like, this game is for fucking, at the time, kids. You know, and that's where it comes from. Is most people like, that's why this game is on like the IGN like top fucking like 20 hardest NES games of all time. It's on like lists as, you know, one of the hardest NES games. And I think that's because we all played this fucking game when we were like 9 or 10. You know, and all we played were NES games. You know, with their limitations. Whereas now, I've played so many fucking faster paced games in this. I played Bullet Hells. I played, you know, fucking Escape the Gungeon. I played, you know, Ikaruga. I played so many more shmups that are faster than this and have more enemies. That of course this is easy to me. Of course now I can go back to this and be like, oh, this wasn't that hard. But at the time, this was a fucking hard game that just kicked everybody's ass. So
if you put me in front of this before I played Echo the Dolphin, I might have struggled a little more.
And I wouldn't say that necessarily difficulty is a flaw, but when you're creating a game based on a video game or based on a comic book character for kids, a lot of people are going to turn away from it from the difficulty. So me being someone who it was one of the 3 or 4 games I had, I just stuck with it and played it. And like I said, I wouldn't say difficulty is a flaw, but difficulty in certain situations can be not forward thinking enough, not being like, okay, who's the audience that is going to be playing this game? You know? And that's kind of where I can't give it a 10 simply because
that's not on a scale.
As a younger kid, I only fucking like this game because I got good at it and I knew so many people who played this game and turned away from it because of the difficulty of the first fucking 5 minutes. You know, or maybe
and I
even
spent
just
the first 5
ramping,
minutes trying to get it to go.
maybe ramping up the difficulty a little bit more instead of coming right off the bat with all guns firing, you know, a little bit slower pace and work your way up to that difficulty instead of like the first screen, you have like things coming at you from all angles.
But at that point, then they would have to do that.
Maybe not necessarily that drastically, but I'm just saying is there's no build up to difficulty. It's hard the whole way fucking through. Every level has the same difficulty, it seems like, the entire way through. And now it doesn't faze me, and probably doesn't faze you, because like you play fucking, you know, Call of Duty, you play, you know, fast paced first person shooters, you play you know, you've been playing video games since you were in diapers. It's a different set of rules for
in my hand.
It's a different set of rules for 9-year-olds who, you know, this is still a new thing. The fact, you know, that the games are even moving this fast, or the games have this many graphics, or so
like,
you know. But
I can only imagine, like, putting it in context, this does seem like a crazy game.
If it wasn't for the fact that this has like a difficulty gate on it, I would say it's an 8. But that, and that's about it, because I love the graphics. I fucking love the music. The story is but it's honestly more of a story than most shoot 'em ups get. So I mean, what are you gonna say to that? You know, it's licensed, but it's actually a fucking good licensed game.
Like Friday the 13th.
Yes, very much so.
That's a really big callback.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. So 7 out of 8 is what I give it. If yeah, that's it. See you later. See you next week, guys. All right, guys, we're done recording. Let's go.
You forgot promotions.
Anyhow, so with that out the door, we got the whole like outro and all that stuff, and our next game. So I know what our next game is already. We don't have to play guess the game or any fucking weird thing. But first and foremost, I want to say the reason I started this podcast was so that I could force my son to play Werewolf the Last Warrior for the NES, so that I had somebody I could fucking talk to about this fucking game. I'm not gonna show my cards right now, but I just wanted a reason to play this game with somebody and talk about it, and that's the whole reason I fucking got the idea for this podcast.
You're telling me this was all one big ploy this whole time,
just to get you to play this next game. All the other episodes were build up. So our next game is going to be Werewolf the Last Warrior for the NES.
Man, what if I told you I've already played this one though?
Then let's talk about it right fucking now.
I'm kidding. I haven't. I was expecting a different reaction.
Okay. This is going to be an extended episode, guys. It's going to be a half Silver Surfer. It's going to be an hour of Silver Surfer and then 2 hours of Werewolf the Last Warrior.
If only.
We're gonna just turn the cameras on, make this a video podcast, and also a Twitch stream all at the same time. I can figure it out.
That'd be crazy. Just give me like 2 seconds, go read some Wikipedia, you know?
Anyhow, you got any plugs?
Plugs, you know, my linktree. Specifically, go find my YouTube. I'm running a poll on there till this upcoming Friday. I don't know the day. Friday the 30th at 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. The poll goes away. It is essentially determining what I am going to be doing content-wise for the next 9 months. The winning answer is going to be what I do. It's if I'm going to be streaming more often, if I'm going to stream a little less often so I can make some YouTube exclusive content, or if I'm going to be barely streaming at all to make a bunch of YouTube exclusive content.
Oh, you don't have music on there?
Well, the music is a thing I do on like separately. I already have my own allocated time where I'm going to work on that. Yeah.
I got
so if that's something that you want to like go vote in, I know this episode's very much so still close to that date, even if it comes out right now, but you know, go try to vote if it's still open. So, because I really want to know what everybody wants, because I'm interested in doing all of it. I'm interested in streaming. I'm also interested in making YouTube exclusive content. So whatever people want me to do the most is what I will do.
Can I vote to have you clean your room?
No, that's not on the list.
They told me my vote doesn't count, and I didn't believe them until now.
That's crazy.
You know that letter I got in the mail yesterday about me being a registered voter? I'm throwing that fucker away now.
That's great. My bad. I'm just the American politics system in a handbag.
You are. You just summed up America.
Didn't mean
you're
to.
Only giving me, the only options you're giving me to vote for, I don't want either one of those options. The one thing I want, you won't let me vote on it. So, yeah, that sounds like America to me.
My bad. I apologize. Didn't mean to.
You gave me flashbacks to America. To the American political fucking machine. Anyway, this is good. We're getting into an area I don't want to talk about. So anyways, those are Socko's plugs. If you want to know anything about me, go to my linktree. I may make some content besides this at some point now that the summer's over. Eventually. And I have some fucking free time on my hands. Other than that, this has been RetroQuest. We've been talking about the Silver Surfer, and
a surprisingly long episode.
It's been a great time. Bye.
Bye, guys. Au revoir. No, what is it in German? I forgot. It's Guten Tag. I don't know.
You're fun.